Welcome to Light Realm History, where we journey through the paths of greatness from times past. We honor the sacrifices of remarkable men who illuminated the world with their courage and vision. Subscribe to join us, hit the bell icon, and don't forget to share your thoughts on what you've learned. Now, let's begin our adventure.
Ambrose of Milan, the reluctant bishop who changed an empire. Prologue: Shadows over an empire. The 4th century was an age of uncertainty. The Roman Empire, once mighty and unchallenged, now trembled beneath the weight of old gods and new faiths. In the heart of this storm, a single man would rise, unexpectedly, to shape the fate of Christianity and the world. Chapter 1, Noble Beginnings. In the province of Gallia, where Roman legions marched and the echoes of conquest still lingered, a child named Ambrose was born into privilege. His father, a high-ranking prefect, ruled over land stretching from Britain to Spain. Their villa was filled with laughter, learning, and the warmth of family bonds. But beneath the surface, destiny waited. Tragedy struck early. Ambrose's father died, and the family journeyed to Rome, the eternal city, where ambition and intrigue dance in every shadow. Here, young Ambrose was immersed in the world of law and rhetoric, the tools of power in a society on the edge of transformation. Chapter 2, Rising Through the Ranks. Ambrose excelled. His mind was sharp, his words persuasive. Soon, he was appointed to the court of Praetorian Prefect, where whispers of politics and faith mingled in marble halls. His rise was swift. Governor of Liguria and Aemilia, with Milan as a seat of power. But Ambrose was more than a magistrate. He was respected, even loved, for his fairness and integrity. Yet, for all his virtues, he had never taken up any church office. He had not even been baptized. Chapter 3, The Call of Destiny. The year was 374. Milan was a city on the brink. The Arian bishop had died, and rival factions, each claiming the true faith, clashed in the city's grandest church. The air was thick with tension, the threat of violence just a spark away. Ambrose, the governor, was called to restore order. He stood before the seething crowd, his voice calm, his presence commanding. Then, from the chaos, a single voice, perhaps a child's, rose above the din. Ambrose for bishop. The words rippled to the crowd, growing into a thunderous chant. Ambrose, stunned, tried to escape. He was not a priest, not even baptized, but the city would not relent. For days, Ambrose hid, wrestling with fear and duty. The weight of their hope pressed upon him.
If you've listened this far, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button and share your honest thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's continue our adventurous journey together.
Chapter 4, Reluctant Acceptance. At last, Ambrose surrendered. He gave up his office, his wealth, and his old life. In a single week, he was baptized, ordained, and consecrated Bishop of Milan. The city rejoiced, but Ambrose's heart was heavy with the burden of his new calling. He threw himself into study, determined to serve with wisdom and humility. His first act were radical. He distributed his fortune to the poor, embraced simplicity, and began a crash course in theology. The reluctant bishop was now the shepherd of divided flock. Chapter 5, The Preacher and the Poet. Ambrose's sermons were unlike any the city had heard. He spoke with fire and conviction, urging believers to purity and courage. His words cut through the fog of heresy and doubt, building up the faithful and challenging the powerful. But Ambrose was also a poet at heart. In the quiet of his study, he composed hymns that would echo through the centuries. 12 of his creations remain with us today. Their melodies once uniting the city in song as it faced turmoil and uncertainty. Chapter 6. Power behind the throne. As Bishop of Milan, the city where Western emperors now resided, Ambrose became the power behind the throne. He counseled Emperor Gratian, guiding him as paganism's grip weakened. Gratian made history by refusing the title of Pontifex Maximus, breaking with Rome's ancient religion. Ambrose stood firm as the old ways crumbled. When the altar of victory was removed from the Senate House, pagan senators pleaded for its return. Ambrose, unwavering, supported the emperor. The old gods were falling and Christianity was rising. Chapter 7. The triumph of the true faith. By the end of the 4th century, the world had changed. The Emperor Theodosius declared Christianity the official religion of Rome. The term Catholic, universal, was now reserved for those who held to the Creed of Nicaea. The Church in Rome claimed primacy. Its bishop now called Pope. Across the empire, the faith Ambrose defended became law. But the battle was not over. Arianism, the old heresy, still lingered, even in Milan. Chapter 8. The Siege of the Church. In 385, the Empress Mother Justina demanded a church in Milan for Arian worship. Ambrose refused. The Arians, desperate, tried to seize it by force. Ambrose organized a sit-in. Christians filled the church, singing the hymns he had written, their voices rising through the night as soldiers waited outside. The city held its breath. Would violence erupt? At dawn, the Arians withdrew. Ambrose had won without bloodshed. Chapter 9. Church and state collide. Ambrose's true test came not from heresy, but from the throne itself. In 388, a group of Christians burned a synagogue. The emperor ordered it rebuilt at the bishop's expense. Ambrose refused, arguing that God's law stood above the emperor's. He threatened to withhold communion, and the emperor relented. But tragedy struck again. In Thessalonica, a riot led to massacre. 7,000 dead by imperial decree. Ambrose confronted the emperor, barring him from the Eucharist until he had done penance. The message was clear. The church will hold even the mightiest to account. Chapter 10. The final years. Ambrose ruled with wisdom and compassion. His sermons reached rich and poor alike, blending spiritual depth with practical care. He became a symbol of the church's authority. A shepherd, a statesman, a poet, and a warrior for faith. As the 4th century drew to a close, Ambrose's health failed. The city mourned as word spread of his passing. With his death, an era ended, the age of martyrs and creeds, of pagan gods and rising churches. Epilogue. Legacy of a reluctant bishop. Ambrose's life was a bridge between worlds, old Rome and new faith, empire and church. He established the principle that the church stood above the state, fighting for orthodox doctrine and the deity of Christ. His hymns still echo, his courage still inspires. In the shadows of history, Ambrose's light endures, a testament to the power of conscience, conviction, and a single life surrender to destiny.
To enjoy more inspiring stories and deep insights, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. What you learnt, enjoyed, or what history you'd love us to create contents on. Thank you. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep creating contents you love.